weather, especially with the warnings coming from the NEMA and now the reactions coming from NEMA, which is the National Emergency Management Agency. Joining me for more is the commander, the NEMA territorial coordinator in charge of Kano and Jigawa State, Nura Abdullahi. Good to have you join us on TVC News at 7. You know, year in, year out, we hear NEMA issuing flood alerts to communities. But beyond those warnings that we get, what else really does NEMA do to mitigate, you know, these flooding?
Thank you for having me. Part of what we have been doing is disseminating early warning information to the communities, like what we did yesterday. The National Emergency Management Agency has plugged a campaign of National Preparedness and Response campaign for all the areas that was predicted to have climatic stress. I want you to understand that NEMA is a coordinating body at the national level. There is what we call State Emergency Management Agency. So it's not the only work of NEMA alone, but NEMA is doing its best. That is the reason why it plugged off that campaign. And it is expected that the State Emergency Management Agency should own the program and continue doing that, while NEMA will also is not going to relent on doing it is in fulfilling it is on mandate, like what we did, and some other programs that are coming up in order to sensitize the populace, the government, the people for what is coming as regards to seasonal climate prediction by NEMA and
all right, Mr. Abdullahi, you know, let's talk about Mokwa, which has been in the news. It's been 7 days after the devastating flood, which has left more than, 200 people dead with several others missing. Using Mokwa as a case study, what can we do? How do we prevent flooding, especially of this magnitude? Rather than by NICE. Okay, Mr. Abdullahi, I was talking about Mokwa. We have seen the devastation that flooding has caused in that state. And I was wondering what you think we can do to prevent flooding, especially of this magnitude, rather than us being reactionary.
First of all, there is popular saying in NEMA, disaster management is everyone's business, and no agency or organization that can do it alone. That is the reason why we are always pushing for multi-stakeholders approach in our dealings. So go back to your question. Yeah, definitely all the stakeholders must put hand on deck to prevent such kind of things happening through the dissemination of information, proper building, proper building systems. Because if you look at it, people used to go and build houses along the river, right? And there is popular saying that whatever you do, however it goes, the river must come back its way. So maybe let me see the development authorities of the states, the local governments, the other organizations that has to do with the building codes and urban planning must come.
Mr. Abdullahi, there's some challenge with network from your end, but I must appreciate you for the insights you've shared. I'd have loved that we take on some more issues, but it just appears that's a much we'll be able to handle.
Must come in.
Coordinator in charge of NEMA territories in Jigawa and Kano State, Nura Abdullahi. Thank you. Okay, I understand I can, take on some more. Yes, we've seen the situation in Mokwa. You have spoken about the need for people themselves to be responsible, right? But then let's also talk about the place of getting camps ready, since we know that these warnings are coming and that, flooding would likely take place and people will definitely be displaced. How proactive should we be regarding setting up camps such that people can easily access help?
Can you go back again? Because the network is fluctuating. I didn't hear you well.
All right, I'm talking about setting up of IDP camps, because in the place of Mokwa, for instance, about 5 days after, we're still saying that there was no camp set up for the people to stay in. You know, how proactive should we be? How should states and the stakeholders address, that matter?
Maybe I have to just answer you this question generally, because I'm not in charge of that area, but I'm very much sure even the DG was there herself. But let me tell you, in disaster management or in the humanitarian work, camp is a last resort. Nobody wanted to live in camp. People prefer to live with relations and the friends. It is the last resort where people wanted to live. But I'm very much sure the Operation Office and Niger State is doing its best, but I'm not in the position to say maybe you can direct your question to the Niger Operation Office or to the NEMA headquarters, because my own territory is Kano and Jigawa. That is where I'm the head of operations.
All right, so let's talk about the Kano and Jigawa. In Jigawa, we hear about 21 local governments are said to be, flood prone. What are you doing at this time to make sure that we don't experience same as what we've seen in Mokwa?